Hi guys, welcome to our channel Crick Oxygen. We're back after a while, and we have Ritik with us from Wicked Whispers. Has become a very familiar face in our channel, and smiles all around the country, all around for the cricket fanatics around the country. India have won the Women's World Cup for the very first time, and this is an important day. That is, maybe we are shooting it on November 3rd at this point in time, but
Yeah.
not only November 2nd, but I really believe, Ritik, that October 30th, right? That was the start. I mean, I
Yeah.
genuinely believed after the semi-final that, right, irrespective of whatever happens on the second, right? Yes, India
Right.
have won the World Cup at this point in time, but definitely, if India had the result had gone the other side as well, I think that semi-final knock from Jemima Rodriguez, I think it was a huge turning point in Indian cricket. I mean, we have seen a lot of it happen, right? Like in terms of India winning the 2007 T20 World Cup, for instance, what that
Mm.
had done to the rise of T20 cricket in India, and what it did to the IPL, or what how the IPL is today, and what it has done to
Right.
franchisee cricket around the world. So I think.
Right.
Right from that particular knock from Jemima Rodriguez, I think it has just changed the landscape of it will change the landscape of Indian cricket, Indian women's cricket, rather to be particular. But yes, I think these are important dates. And to start off with, what are initial thoughts? India winning the Women's World Cup for the very first time.
I think that was something everyone was waiting for a long time. Especially, I think for everyone who must have watched the 2017 game against England, everyone would have thought that okay, this was really close. I think that was again India's game to win. But I think someone who has watched that match specifically would have waited for this for a long time. And again, India got really close in terms of T20 World Cup quite a few times in the previous
Yes.
few editions, keeping aside the last one. So I think everyone, again, that's the term that everyone was talking about, the sleeping giant. Everyone knew that the potential was always there, and especially again for us, it was very disheartening to see that these girls getting really close but not able to cross the line. For themselves, it was very tough because even when Jemmy, again in the presentation, she talked about all the struggles she had in the recent few years because
Yes. Yes.
expectations are there, and especially I think the most heaviest are the expectations of yourself because you know you have a certain ability to perform, and if you're not able to deliver that, again that's very difficult to take a baggage and move ahead, especially at the international level where there's everything happening at a very rapid pace. I think for more importantly, it is again, I think the mindset will now be changed from a person who is watching the game. The player's mindset has been changing for a long time now, from 2017 to now 2025. It's been 8 years, and again people, the players are getting better in Indian circuit. Again, WPL has come in, the quality of cricket obviously has risen up, but more
Exactly.
importantly now the belief is there even in the audience. The performance that you are saying of Jamima Rodriguez, again it's very important from the point of view of a person also, because from the next time when a person will be watching a women's game, will be thinking that okay, if 338 runs are scored, there are chances that it can be chased by an individual brilliance. That was not the case in the women's cricket, especially from any player from India, because in big matches that was the case. That was there. Even with the men's team, it was the problem that in big matches we were not able to perform. And that's what
True.
even
True.
I was thinking earlier, that there's always a breakthrough moment for every team. For India, it was 83 World Cup. Once they got to understand, okay, what it takes to win and what are the areas that we need to keep in mind before winning a match or before winning a tournament like a World Cup, I think from
Mhm.
there on, it is slightly more easier to control yourself when you are in a position like that in the future. I think this is the breaking moment now. 2017, they got really close, but good to see that in 2025, finally they have crossed that hurdle. And Harman was again really good to understand and listen to her, that she specifically mentioned that okay, this is the habit now we want to create from coming on. This is not the end, this is just the beginning of a winning habit that we want to create. So I think for viewers it's going to be a great satisfaction and a change in mindset now. From we as a viewer will try to look at it from a same lens as we are now watching men's cricket. I think this is the biggest change that a World Cup win can bring to people of India.
Absolutely. I mean, from a viewer perspective, from a lot of perspective, right? In terms of
Yeah,
just watching the game, and it will bring in a lot of things, right? Like let's say, for instance, just the money into the game. I mean,
yeah,
at the end of the day, cricket in India, it is more like a commercial part of it is also involved.
right.
Right, so in that sense, I think women's cricket, a lot of brands will come in, a lot of money will get into this game. So it is like a butterfly effect, right? So
Right.
it can definitely get better in terms of what we have spoken. And also coming to that point that you had mentioned, 338 next time, if let's say India concede in the first
Yeah,
innings, you
yeah,
have that confidence, right? They
right.
can fight, they can push for
Yeah,
that one more time. And I think that just comes from, even when during the match, I had a feeling that India would fight, maybe not chase, but India would fight in the semi-final, that is
yeah,
at the end of the first innings. Because if you see the series that was prior to this
right.
World Cup, right? India had actually played a one-day series against Australia,
Yeah,
where
Australia.
they had chased around 375, I think somewhere around 375, and I think they lost by anywhere a margin close to 40 runs, just 40 runs. So I think that chase would have given them a lot of
Hmm.
confidence, and I
Yeah.
think that is, that you've seen that result in the World Cup semi-final is what I personally feel.
Yeah, I think that definitely will be the case. And yeah, because I think with chasing, especially in big matches, again, I think more than the ability, as Dinesh was also yesterday mentioning in the commentary, it comes down to who can handle the pressure. And this is one thing that I think Indian players, you can say, are blessed with, or it can go the other way around also, because when you're in a winning position, that can really work. But when you are down and out, all that pressure also is comparatively higher than any other team in the world. So I think, yeah, once you have done that, so you have something to look ahead. You have something to follow. So I think what Jamima did, I think will inspire a lot of people. And even with Australia, that's the case. Every time there's an Indian in semi-finals scoring a century, I think in 2017, I still remember Harman was the one who scored 150 plus.
Correct.
But I
171
think
not out.
171 not out. So what Jamima did was comparatively better because that came in chasing. And for me and for whoever I think who understands cricket, and who has followed cricket for a long time, will clearly understand how big of a difference it is to bat second in a big game. That too against a team like Australia. Australia were the favorites. It was Australia's tournament to win. They were unbeaten. But I think it's good. They have tasted their own medicine. We were unbeaten in the 23 World Cup. I have to bring it up. So now they were, and India were the underdogs. To be honest, that was
100%,
whoever
yes.
was tuning into the match was just hoping that Australia might get bundled out around 250. Everyone was thinking like that, and I don't think so. Anyone would have believed that India will win the match after seeing 330 in a semi-finals. So I think, yeah, that belief will be every time there from now on after we have seen that performance.
Yes, definitely. That belief is going to go on, and I think just the magnitude of the women's game, I think it's going to massively change from here. And I think in a way, we will be lucky to witness that transition. Is definitely what I believe. I mean, you had mentioned that if things go right, when things go right, it looks good. And
Hmm.
to continue on that point,
Yeah.
yesterday, for a brief period, it looked like maybe South Africa would
Yeah.
just take that game away, 20 to
Hmm.
25 overs. That
Yeah.
point in time, they were getting 8 runs an over, they were getting a boundary every over. And there is
Hmm.
a moment that Harmanpreet Kaur, maybe her intention was to maybe change ends, or rather was to slow down the game, or was to do something out of the box. She just threw the ball to the last person you would think who would bowl was
Shafali.
Shefali Verma. And she comes in. I don't know what spin she exactly bowled, but some kind of let's say Varun Chakravarti kind of a mystery spin that she bowled, and she got the wicket. And that, I think, that was a massive turning point. Couple of wickets in quick time. I,
Yeah.
I think that's where the game literally changed. It was Shefali's day. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. As you rightly mentioned, I think Mel Jones asked Herman that what was going on in your mind when you were giving the ball to Shefali, and she also mentioned that after giving the ball, did you had a conversation with Amol?
yeah,
That was because everyone was surprised, and even when she bowled, I think sixth over, I was also surprised that okay, I understand that she's bowled 5 overs and she has got better of it, but everyone knew that chances of scoring runs are there. But I think yeah, Harman clearly mentioned that in sports, when someone is having a good day, it can turn out well. So that was the
Correct.
whole idea behind giving ball to Shefali, and she also mentioned that when Shefali was coming in during the semi-finals, before the semi-finals game, she was asked that we'll be requiring few overs out of you. So Harman clearly
Yeah,
mentioned that she told her that even if you want 10 overs out of me,
10
I'll be
overs,
happy to
yeah.
bowl. Yeah, I
Correct,
think
correct.
she was trying to bowl off spin, but it was going straight. Yeah, I think that, but not
Uh,
Varun Chakrabarti, that's for sure. But I think she was trying to bowl something similar to off, but I don't think so that was turning. That, I think that was the trick of it.
yeah, and also in a way, right? At the end of the day, yes, the result has been highly positive for India. But I
Yeah,
think in some way or the other, the likes of maybe, let's say, from a South African point of view, prior to the final, they would have seen the likes of Sri Charni bowling, or
yeah,
rather, you would have had all of the spinners who would have bowled,
right.
right? Maybe Radha Yadav a bit, whoever it
Yeah,
is. But even the likes of Deepti Sharma, but nobody would have seen the bowling of Shefali Verma. I don't think so. They would have imagined that, and also, or could be that I mean, Harmanpreet Kaur would have had a feeling that, right, let's bring her out in the final. It could act as an element of surprise,
right,
and I think that at the end of the day has worked. And I mean, let's be honest, Ritik, at one in one way or the other, it is important for a team to win a World Cup. I think it is destiny at the end of the day, because I think, for instance, let's take the likes of Rohit Sharma. I mean, just a small example. In almost 25 odd games, he's won 24 ICC wins that he's had in the last 25 ICC games that he's captain.
yeah,
It's just that one game, right? It's just
right.
that one game we all talk about. So at the end of the day, law of averages played a part on that day. But I think it
Mm,
is that destiny. Things will have to fall in place. And I think it was India's day altogether. The likes of Smriti Mandana batting really well,
right,
Shefali Verma batting really well, Deepti Sharma towards the back end doing really well. Richa Ghosh throughout the tournament has been excellent. In
right,
fact,
right, right.
in fact, in most of the games, just the
Yeah,
six hitting ability of
yeah.
Richa Ghosh. I think we'll have to
Mm-hmm.
discuss this, and in the longer term, I think if she can back top of the order, maybe number five also in a T20 kind of setup, I think it's going to help India,
Right.
right?
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think people who follow women's cricket properly, I think they also look at her from a leadership point of view, also moving ahead.
True.
That's very early to say, but there has been conversation with few of the players few of the people who come from Bengal who have a good understanding or are into women's cricket. They have clearly mentioned that this girl is very different in terms of the ability, as you were mentioning, the ability just to smash the ball outside the ground, and it's very rare to see in women's cricket. So I think that is something that can really be worked on, and yeah, it depends. I think once you have that ability, you are always given the most difficult part. So if she comes into bat at number five, that will be ideal. But yeah, let's see what turns out. What's the number? I think it will depend a lot on who are the other players at that time in the team, and I think she can manage it out. You were talking about that this win will bring a lot of money into the game. I think I still remember 3 days back, 3 or 4 days back, I was scrolling through LinkedIn. So there was a whole post on this World Cup on Team India. So it was a week back when India, I think it was just before the New Zealand game. So everyone, there was a cricket writer who specifically mentioned that why there is so much money why there is so much money being invested in women's cricket. What are the results? What is the ROI? They haven't been able to perform in the knockout stage for a long time. It's high time. We should do this. We should do that. And surprisingly, I was expecting this from people who doesn't have enough knowledge of sport, but from someone who is into sports. I was not expecting it from that point of view. So I just thought of looking at the comments. So even in the comments, people were onto it, that okay, yeah, this guy is saying right, and I was clearly surprised. But I think that's what I've seen in India. Everything is in the air. If everyone is talking negative about X person or X team, everyone will just join in. And what happened after that? India beat New Zealand, India beat Australia, India beat South Africa. So these are the three teams who were the favorites of winning the title. So I think that's something now with that it will close these mouths who were talking about it from a business point of view. I understand this match, this whole sport always will be commercial at the end of the day when you are playing it at an international level. But I think the bigger picture, the idea behind giving an equal pay was to somehow just put belief in women's cricket that okay, if you can make a career in women's cricket, it will be financially sustainable for you. So I think most of the people are happy with it, but there were few who were not happy with the point that why women are getting equal pay. So I think with this win, I think that will be closed. That debate will be closed forever.
Yeah, I think that's what a World Cup does to a country, right?
Yeah.
And especially in a country like India, where cricket is followed as a region. I mean, as you mentioned time and again, that word you mentioned time and again, people
Yeah.
who have followed cricket for a long time. And
Yeah.
I definitely think, this win is not actually surprising for a person who's nearly, followed cricket for a decade now. Will
Right.
understand that, it is not, the women's team that played in 2020, 2015 that who are playing
Right.
in 2025, right?
Right. Right.
Because
Right.
we have seen that transition. We've seen India reaching to that semifinals constantly. We've seen India
Yeah.
reach a couple of finals. Yes, sometimes that tends to happen. They were not able to cross the finishing line in the Commonwealth Games.
Hmm.
It could be in the T20 World Cup. It could be in
Yeah.
the 2017 World Cup, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So there have been instances earlier, but I think this is not a surprise. This is not a victory that they have got overnight, right? So
Right.
this has been a constant process, because this has been since the time of a lot of coaches who have been through this process. So I think definitely. I mean, in that on that note, also credit to Amol Muzamdar. I mean, the way he's
Right.
led. I mean, Amol Muzamdar. I mean, a lot of people who followed for cricket for a while will know that he's one of the legends of the domestic circuit. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, he couldn't play for India. But he's
Yeah.
one of the biggest legends of the
Right.
first class circuit. And on that note, for him to win a women's World Cup as a coach, I think that would be a major part in his career, right? That will really give him that boost.
Yeah, I think you were talking about destiny, right? That it was meant to be. I think that's the case with Amol. And it all it when you see these stories, when you see these things happen in real life, as a person, you also get the belief that okay, if a certain thing doesn't work out in
Correct.
this manner, life will have a way to figure it out and give you probably in a different manner, but you will get it. And I think in
Correct.
the end, at the end, he didn't play it for India, but he's the first person to lead to coach that
Exactly.
team that ended up winning the World Cup. And I think that's again something that he would have never imagined, and no one would have imagined that. I think so that is something that will give hope to a lot of other people who are finding that motivation to just go to keep on working hard in whatever aspect of their
Correct.
job or their personal life, whatever aspect of their life. I think this is something that's very motivational. And I was very happy to see the celebrations that were going on the sidelines of the boundary. So there was this old man in complete white having a go at the trophy. He was celebrating. I later on got to know that he was the father
Yeah.
of Amol
Ra-
Mazumdar. Yeah, so
Okay. Okay.
that's really really impressive. So good to see that his father was so much into that celebration. So I think that's something that I think Amol will be also very very proud of, because keeping in mind what happened a few months back in the T20 World Cup, India didn't qualify even for the semis. So at that
Correct.
time, the whole mindset and the point of view of a person who is looking at women's cricket will be completely different. But now to turn it around in
Correct.
in this manner, I think it takes a lot of hard work. It's not easy.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, Deepthi Sharma as well, right?
Yeah, I
On
was about
that
to come
note,
to Deepthi. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I think she was going unnoticed on a lot of occasions. But I
Yeah.
think this World Cup, she's been that important player. I mean, an
Hmm.
important cog who can bat, who can bowl, who can field really well. Because I believe she's that thinking cricketer, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you spoke, excuse me, you spoke about Richa Ghosh as a as a leadership option, but I
Yeah,
genuinely believe someone like Deepthi Sharma is a
yeah,
genuine leadership candidate as well for the future,
right.
considering the fact that just the game sense. I mean, in the sense that, her instinct on the field, right? Sometimes you find it with very less players, but I think her instinct is in such a manner, right?
Yeah, I think she has now a lot of experience. Also, she has, I think, led in one of the seasons. I think this year she was leading UP team. I'm not sure. I think whether Elsie Healy was the captain or was she was the captain. But I think she is
For
now,
a while, she was the captain. You're
for a
correct.
while she
Yes,
was the captain, and she's also very young. So she's 28 right now. She also comes from Agra. So yeah, cheers to Agra. But no, I think at the time she's not 28. Probably after Smriti. I think Richa is still now 22, so I don't think so that will be very early. But Deepti is definitely one of the contenders of being the future captains of India, at least in one format, if not all. But yeah, I think you rightly mentioned she always goes under the radar because she's not someone who is very vocal or very flashy in her celebrations or,
correct, correct.
or even on social media. Nowadays, people get traction from social media. She's not one of those characters. Yeah, but equally very effective. I think one of the best all rounders game has produced. Keeps aside India, and I think if I can relate her to one player from men's team, it will be Ravindra Jadeja. Will be very
Absolutely.
close. Radha Yadav is also someone who comes very close to Jadeja in terms of fielding. But yeah, I think Deepti will be in that list for sure. One of the best all rounders for India and for the world cricket also. I was hoping that she'll be the player of the match in the finals. She got a five for and
Exactly. I
50.
wanted to bring that point. Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. She had, in
She
fact,
got Laura
I
out
mean,
at the end. That was the most
exactly,
important thing. So
exactly. I mean,
even if she would have taken one wicket, I would have thought that she deserves the player of the match. Even if that only wicket was there.
absolutely, and I
Yeah.
mean, talk about take no credit away from Shefali Verma because
Yeah,
she batted really well. I mean, took that couple of wickets when the team needed the most. I mean, one of the
right.
key factors in turning the match and all of that. But I think at the end of the day, to get a 50 and to get a fifer, it doesn't happen every day of the week, right?
Right.
Not every single day of the week. You tend to do that from one of the best all rounders in your team. So yes, I mean at the end
She
of
got
the
a
day, I
bigger
think India.
award, by the way.
Yeah,
She got player of the
exactly,
tournament.
exactly,
So I think that
exactly.
was the
So
way to compensate it. I was thinking that even Laura can get the player of the tournament. The amount of runs she scored, 500 plus runs in a World Cup. I was thinking that she might also be in that list because I think before Deepti, she was in the contenders of being announced as the player of the tournament. Because over
yeah,
500 runs is something that you don't see very often in World Cup editions.
yeah.
So yeah, but again, yeah, I think Deepti also deserved it. The kind of performance she did in both the departments.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, talk about South Africa. Laura Woolbert, and in fact, the second batter to have two consecutive, hundreds in terms of, in
Right,
knockouts, right? Both semi-final and the final. We were also discussing it behind the camera that,
yeah,
all of that they've done. Elisa Haley and now Laura Woolbert
Laura
is the
Wolver, yeah,
first. Yeah, so this is in fact the second player to get that
second player. Yeah.
record. Yeah.
I
So
think
yes, in the,
yeah, yeah. You can
yeah, go
continue.
ahead.
I'll just join you. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think we talked about India as the sleeping giants. I think now South Africa will also be in that list. I think not this time, but probably in the coming ICC tournaments. I think South Africa is going to win a title because they've gotten really close now. Two T20 World
yeah,
Cup finals, one ODI World Cup finals. So last three finals that have been taken place in the women's game, they've played all three. So
yes,
one they lost against
absolutely. Yeah,
Australia, the other they lost against New Zealand, and now against India. But they've gotten better in terms of the players
yeah,
that are coming in. A lot of youngsters in that group. Yeah, I think even in the presentation, Mel Jones asked Laura that she talked about Marisa and Cap that this was her last
yeah,
World Cup. I think for her also it would have been that story. As in, everyone doesn't get a chance to end it on that note. But again, one of the best players didn't had a great final, but I think we talk about Julan from our side. She got over Julan in terms of number of wickets. Yeah, was a tough day, but I think South Africa in future will definitely win an ICC tournament in the women's department.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to see their growth as a
Yeah,
country overall in terms of both women's
right.
cricket and men's cricket, it has
Men's cricket, yeah,
been amazing. I mean, they just got past the jinx earlier this year in form
yeah,
of a
right.
WTC World Cup as a country. So hopefully, in the women's cricket also, they will hopefully do that, is what we believe. And also,
Yeah,
talking about, Amol Muzamdar, a coach in himself.
yeah,
I mean, the decisions that the coaching group have taken. Sri Charani, who's been at the talk of the town in the last few games for India,
right.
she's just played around, if I'm not wrong, around 15 or one day internationals, right? She's
Hmm.
debuted early this year.
April.
And
Yeah,
yeah, April, exactly. So
yeah,
bring her in and to play the ball the way she did, I think she, in fact, to the wicketkeeper batter of South Africa, I think Jafta, right? Uh,
hmm.
the way she bowled, I think that's where the pressure actually tilted towards. South Africa. I think.
Right.
I mean, a lot of credit doesn't. We don't give her a lot of credit on a lot of occasions. I think that is due to the sheer reason that most of the times she's not the one who picks the wickets. She's the
Right.
one who induces those wickets, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, she keeps those dot balls going on, the dot ball pressure
Hmm.
coming through, and it is at the other end who tend to get those wickets. But
Yeah.
the line and length to just keep it simple, absolutely. I mean, amazing, right?
Yeah, that's. I think that's the most important thing as a spinner when you have got responsibility of handling the middle overs. I think that's the most important thing, and that's why she's gotten a chance to be in the playing 11 over a lot of players who are not there. Again, there are a lot of experienced players who are sitting in the squad who are in the extras, but just to get the chance of being in the 11, it takes a lot of, again, the precision to be in that spot, and especially playing in the finals. And she's very young also, to handle that
Yeah,
pressure it takes a lot. So I think, yeah, she did her job really well. That was the time that India needed to restrain the run flow. That's what she did. And I think similar job was done by even Renuka. She would have gotten
absolutely.
2 wickets easily. Both the catches were gone down. She would have gotten 2 wickets, but she's not the best fielder, that's for sure. But in the bowling, I think she was absolutely amazing. She didn't give a lot of runs. Economy was, I think, even below 5. So I think what Renuka did was again very similar to what she was doing.
Yes, definitely. I think Renuka as well is always very underrated. But I still
Yeah,
believe that you can actually give her 5 hours up front. Maybe use her 5 hours up front
right.
because the ability to swing the ball both ways, right? She brings this unique ability. I mean, very
Hmm.
similar to how Shika Pandey used to do initially for
Yeah,
India. I mean, previously for India. I think
right.
the similar kind of role that she's doing, maybe not much in the terms of pace, but the
Hmm.
line and length is absolutely perfect. So I think in that sense she's really good, and I think you can if I think the future captains will also. As time passes by, they will understand that I mean, try and get maybe 7 or 8 overs just before a bit of shine is still there. Maybe before
Yeah,
the 20th over, if I would like to put it that way. Divided in a couple of spells, maybe. Right.
yeah,
So if they can do that, I think it will be more efficient as far as
yeah. I
Renuka Singh
think
Thakur is concerned.
that could be the case. But I think that will be more visible in terms of matches if they are happening, even if India is batting in the bowling in the first innings. I think that will be slightly more easier for her to do, or if the matches are happening whether in England or Australia, because I think what the conditions in Navi Mumbai. I don't think so. I think that was the case. I think she is someone who can definitely do that. What you are saying, and I think to utilize her perfectly, if the conditions are well, I think that's what they should do. The plan that you were mentioning about. But I think because of the conditions, I think they just stick to bowling less overs, and again trying to bring in spinners as early as they can. That's what South Africa also did, because it was so wet. I think it was very difficult for even fast bowlers to just have a grip on the ball. So I think it depends on the conditions. But I think the point you're trying to say is something that can definitely work out for Renuka.
Yeah, definitely. And also the point that you mentioned that, at the end of the day, it looked like, when almost 6, 7 overs were done, it was a good toss to lose actually for India. Because even genuinely as a cricket fan, I also believe that right there is a bit of the conditions were slightly overcast considering that there was a bit of rain earlier.
Hmm.
Maybe the ball could do a bit initially. Maybe if the Indian team lose some wickets early. I mean that
Yeah.
was a genuine fear that I had, but it turned out to be a good toss to lose actually. I mean, the way Smriti Mandana batted, she's been great throughout the tournament,
Yeah.
right? I think that has to be said. Even Harmanpreet Kaur, the way Jemima played in the semi-finals, I think
Semis.
we're all forgetting the knock of
Harman's contribution. Yeah.
Harman's knock, yeah, because
Yeah.
she was brilliant, right? Because a few shots that she hit that is over extra cover, I
Hmm.
think are also nice to see this, right? Because with the likes of Richa Ghosh, Harmanpreet Kaur, Jemima
Hmm.
Rodriguez, the approach to their batting, I think
Yeah.
that is one thing that I felt was really great because they're trying to access the V, they're trying to access the mid-off region, they're trying to access the mid-on regions, down
Hmm.
the ground. Their options for shots, their shot selection was really good. I think that is one of the main reasons why they were able to get those runs, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. I think, and you want to have that variety in the middle. The kind of shots probably Jamima plays, and I think that's the reason why even left and right hand combination works out when Smithy is batting with Shefali. I think that is something that really works out well because both are very different type of bowlers, a different type of batters. I think that also again comes down to when Harman is batting along with Jamima because Harman is someone who can really play the short ball better. I think she's someone who can play pickup shots perfectly. I think on the cover side, that was something I was even also surprised. Most of the players who come out were very good. And even South
True.
Africa was trying to pack that mid off covers and extra covers area so that they don't lose a lot of runs. But I think I was really surprised to see how efficient these players are on the offside. Even for Deepti, she's someone who is very dominant on the left side, but to just play according to the field set because whenever I've seen that the opposition whenever Deepti is batting again that's a very strong leg side field that is set for her. But that was the case even yesterday. But keeping in mind what are the weaknesses, what are the loopholes on the field, she managed to again find gaps. I think we can sum it up in a way that all the players, all the batters of India were more aware of the situation and they were playing according to the situation. According to
Exactly.
the
Yes.
situation, what is the right shot? They were not predetermined. Shefali is someone who walks down the track, but even after doing that, she was again looking in a lot of control. She was not looking in hurry. So I think
Exactly.
more importantly, everyone was just in the present, in the moment. They were batting according to the situation, according to the field set, and I think that's the reason why they were able to score runs so efficiently in the first few overs, even the middle half.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to see, right? Because
Yeah,
at the end of the day, I think all the losses that we have had over the years in the knockout stages, I
yeah,
think they felt enough is enough. At this point in time, we have seen a lot. We've
yeah,
experienced a lot.
yeah,
I mean, this is the point in time where we'll have to prove, and I think they've done it. I mean, once again, kudos to Team India. I think they've covered most of the
yeah.
factors, right?
Right. I
Uh,
think we have done majority of it. Yeah, if we get to know something else, we'll definitely can tune in back. Yeah, but I think we have covered majority of it. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think this is the first time we are covering women's cricket in a proper manner in our channel,
right,
and I think this should be a great start, and we should do more frequent videos like these, right?
right.
And just the magnitude of the game should get to higher levels, and India should do way better in terms of what they're doing. And yes, maybe Harmanpreet Kaur could have potentially played her last World Cup game, to be honest, is
Yeah,
what I
could be.
personally believe. Could be, but yes, ending it on a winning note, becoming the
Right.
third Indian captain after Kapil Dev and MS Dhoni to win an ODI World Cup is definitely great. So yeah, so I think any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think we are all happy that to see Team India finally crossing the line. And I think yeah, just to end it, I'll say the same thing that again, I think we are going to see a lot of trophies coming in the women's division in the coming years. That's what I want to end with.
Yes, definitely. I think once again, I would like to conclude saying October 30th, 2025, November 2nd, 2025, two dates that would be
Hmm.
etched in the history
Edge
of
in the history. Yeah.
women's cricket. Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, how June 25th, 1983 was
Hmm.
that date which changed the landscape of cricket in India. This is going to maybe 20 years down the line we'll say to people that I was there at that moment, that moment that changed this very game. So yes, so thank you so much, Ritik. It was great. I mean,
Thank
we're
you.
all
Thank you.
happy. Yeah, we're all happy to see India. I mean, get that ICC title, and India won nearly three ICC titles in the last 1.5 years. So that is, was for the last decade, more than a decade, we have been waiting for this moment, and
Yeah.
India got three in the span of 1.5 years. So it's great to see,
Destiny.
and absolutely, yes. I
Yeah.
mean, they say hard work never fails, right? Hard work never
Yeah.
fails. Maybe if it wants to reap dividends, it will reap you, but at the right time, good things take time. So they say a lot of things. I think it has also been a bit philosophical, right? This video we've covered a lot of philosophy also at
Yeah,
different
I
points.
think we are covering different aspects for people who are tuning in for sports but getting life lessons out of us. I think we are doing good.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So once again, thank you so much, Ritik. So
Thank
we'll
you.
meet in yet another video. Until then, thank you so much, guys. Cheers.
Thank you.